Hi, this is the Lourdes and Chris Show. This gorgeous, stunning, breathtaking, everything to my side here is my wife, Lourdes. Honestly, super duper smart. One of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. Out to make a difference in the world, which is just part of why she's so darn amazing. Absolutely love her, and I'm so thankful for you every single day. My first thing I'm thankful for every day is my wife. 100% true. And I am more excited than when Luke Skywalker got that lightsaber.
He was excited, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah, he played it off, but you could tell he was excited. He's like, "Oh, what?" And turns it on. What is this?
Because that's how my lovely husband, who I adore immensely, because he's always in every way extraordinary and loving and amazing, and he's just, if you could see our daily life, he's always doing everything to make sure everything's good in the family, and I love that about you. So that being said, I think the one that's really excited is if he got that.
Yeah, I actually maybe I'd be more excited than Luke Skywalker if I got the lightsaber.
I think so.
I think Luke Skywalker squandered the moment. just a lightsaber, but for me, I'm like, whoa. So, anyways, yes. So, if anybody's got a lightsaber, you can send it my way. I'm see how, and we'll film it. I'll show you how excited I am. I just want to recommend for those of you that haven't done so to go on to lourdesandchrisshow.com. That's our website. We're going to see all the former episodes that we're on, and also the products that we strongly recommended, including Root Brand, which is honestly just been
one of our favorites.
It was not only one of our favorites, but we've seen. You know, you want to use the word miraculous, but you're worried people will be like, no, but no, it's been darn near miraculous what we've seen.
Well, and I think it's because it's first of all, it's all organic at the highest quality, all natural, no synthetics of any sort, no fillers. It's like you're getting 100% of what you're supposed to be having in your system. And the way it's done, it's like, I don't want people to think, because it's not about that it healed you. You have to remember your body heals itself.
Right.
Your body knows what to do when you give it the right thing. So when you're giving it at the highest quality at that level, like Root Brands, when it comes to Clean Slate or Restore, or zero, any one of those things, what you're doing is you're putting in the stuff while it's simultaneously removing the stuff that you shouldn't have in there that's kind of causing the issues. So it takes care of what's causing the problem, so that your body itself takes care of it. Your body itself heals, right?
Right.
You don't have to do anything when you get a cut. You clean it off, right? You're getting the junk out so it can heal and it doesn't get infected. Same thing with Clean Slate. It kind of gets clean things out while it's healing. It's the same thing. And
the other thing too about Clean Slate that I think is so amazing is we just read a story about Clean Slate where a little boy liked the taste of it, and he downed
the whole bottle.
2
years old, by the way.
Yeah.
And didn't just drink the whole bottle at 2. That same day, when the mother saw that was all gone, took it and hid it, and saw where the mom hid it, so climbed up and grabbed and drank the second bottle.
Yeah, and he's fine.
He's fine. That's how safe because it's all made naturally. There's nothing in it harmful. So when you're putting in what your body needs to run right, and then your body goes, thank you, and then the body does its job, the body will heal and take care and run the way it's supposed to.
Now, for you to look at the Root Brands that we're talking about right now, they would just go to...
Yeah, you just go to therootbrands.com/create option C.
And that's going to be, the link is going to be below the video here as well, so you can jump on there.
Yeah, you just jump on there, you sign up like anything. You go on to Amazon, you're going to order something, you have to sign up, right? So it's the same thing. You're just putting in your email, your information, your address, your card information, stuff like that, so you can actually go in there and shop. Now you need the referral code, which is why we say /create option C, because that is the referral code. And one of the things I love doing, because we use it all the time. Actually, our whole family. We use it on a daily basis. That's how we start our daily routine in the morning, is we take our Root Brands, and that's how we start our day. And because we know we're going to use it every day, we know we're going to use it every month, we actually signed up for the Root Brand Prime, just like Amazon Prime. So every month it just goes on an auto ship, and so it saves the shipping. I don't want if I can save $12 or $13 on shipping, hello,
we're doing that.
It's like, and so that's why we do, because we know, as it's running out, we want to make sure we always are stocked up and and have what we need, so we can start our day healthy. Putting in all the nutrients and phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals that our bodies run on, while it's because we're always exposed to stuff. People have to understand, we're consistently exposed to chemicals and chemtrails and metals and junk that's even in our foods. So if you're taking this stuff on a daily basis, it's literally cleaning out daily while simultaneously putting in what you need. So your body's doing its job.
Right. So the reason why I'm more excited than when Luke
Yes.
Skywalker got that lightsaber in the Star Wars is because I guess I consider him my Jedi master.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant is our guest today,
Yes.
and you know,
and our in-house I should say in-house quantum field doctor
that's
that
right.
we really love.
Yep. Well, the thing of it is that he is kind of like my Yoda. He doesn't look like Yoda. Yeah. He's too tall, but he does offer insight into the spiritual guidance, and that's why we absolutely love him. Every time we have him on the show, I feel a little bit smarter, a little bit closer to the divine.
Yes. I really do. It's like you really get the connection on when you listen to him, and you listen to him in the space of understanding, you know, God and his creation of all, you know, whether you call him the creator or the divine, however it makes you feel comfortable, but you still get that it's showing you how to connect at the level that he talks about.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to this with that in mind, and notice how powerful that becomes when you do, whether it's a meditation or prayer or however you want to do. But just pay attention.
So I think we should just get into it then.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Grant.
Hey, so good to see you, Dr. Grant.
You look fantastic. Hello. You're making that tie work, my man.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here for you guys. Good morning from sunny, beautiful Thailand. I'm out in the mountains are right behind me on the other side of those trees.
Are you south of the equator in Thailand? I don't know.
I don't know. I know we're close to the equator because that's why I got my handy towel here, because I'll be sweating.
Yeah, because what's the temperature there now?
Well, we're moving toward winter here also. So actually it's really nice. Now I'm one of those fellas, since I was a kid, I never pay attention to, I don't actually look at the temperature, but offhand, I'd probably say for you guys, it'd be about 80 right now, I think. Something like that.
Because I know you're from the Great North. So
yeah.
As am I. So I know that I prefer the colder climates or the chillier nights. You know, that's my wheelhouse. So I don't know if you're the same way or not.
Well, at nighttime, I have the bedroom really, really cold. That's essential for you to sleep well in the first place.
Yeah, we read that not too long ago.
And it's so funny. I love sleeping in the cold because I can go under the blankets and just like feel all the cold. It's like awesome.
That's right. That's one of the parameters to getting really good sleep. There's a couple of things you need for really good sleep. Absolute darkness, and I mean absolute, as dark as you can possibly get. And then if you have sound is a good parameter as long as it's beautiful, conducive for your sleeping. And then smell is one for a beautiful scent like lavender. And then the other one is in my case, absolute silence. Or like white noise, like the air conditioner, you can think of it like a white noise.
Right.
And cold.
Yeah, our trick is the fans.
Yeah, and when you feel like that, you'll sleep like a baby.
Right. That's the only way I like to sleep. I like it to be cold, and I like to be under a lot of nice, comforty blankets and just knock out in the dark. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of lavender though. Yeah, I hear people say lavender all the time. Floral scents don't do it for me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, don't.
Yeah,
one of the main things about the scent is you absolutely want to enjoy it. Eh?
Yeah, you don't want to be going to sleep going, lavender.
You like patchouli? Is it
patchouli? Sure, or something like that. I would be fine with. I don't know if it's conducive to rest though. I don't know. I mean,
it is. Right. It is.
Some scents are.
Another thing that I do now is just as before I go to sleep, I either talk to the divine a little bit, or I express my gratitude. And it's really good to go to sleep with nice, happy feelings. If you're angry or you just had an argument just before bed, that's not so good.
Yeah, that interrupts the whole flow of resting.
Yeah, because cortisol would be surging through your system. And then, and of course, blue light, really, I started using my blue light blocker glasses. Blue light is read by your pituitary gland as light. So the pituitary handles the melatonin. So when you're looking at the computer or the phone before bed, unless you have the app that changes the light, you're telling the pituitary gland that you're in the middle of the day. So it doesn't, it won't make the melatonin necessary. You won't sleep very well. You don't restore yourself. And then, of course, the glial cells in your brain. Glial cells are like vacuum cleaners. They bloom like flowers in the nighttime, and they sweep all over your brain. They eat up metabolic waste. If you don't eat up the metabolic waste, that's what will give you Alzheimer's disease and all kinds of things. So the glial cells are really important. The only way they're going to activate is if we're getting good quality sleep.
Yeah, actually we did an episode on sleep and the importance of sleep. And this is good for people to understand the things they need to do to make sure they get good sleep and why it's important. Because it's where you mostly, the majority of your regenerating and healing process at night, because it's more intense at night, is between 9 and 12 at night. But if you're up during those hours or you're not getting good sleep at those hours, you're not really regenerating like you should.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no healing. Yeah.
The other thing, the Heart Math Institute's research shows during the night, the heart is your big battery. That's the battery you should be running off of. If it depletes, you go to the adrenal glands, and if they deplete, you go to the kidneys itself. So the heart regenerates at night. Then when you wake up in the morning, you got a full battery. Yep. And then as you take any kind of emotional hits or stresses, it'll deplete the heart a little bit. You regenerate again at night.
That's interesting. You should say that because about a month ago now, it's been about a month already since we did the Tinley Park thing. We were out in Tinley Park, Illinois, to do a talking event, and we were really lacking sleep. And Dr. Grant, I got to tell you, I felt it in my chest, like in my heart, like in my heart is where I felt it the most, because it just we were going on like 3 hours of sleep, and and
a lot of hours of driving. That was very painful, and it was just like a turnaround one after another. And we're like, ugh. Yeah. So we were literally running on fumes. I didn't feel it so much in my heart. I felt it in my whole body, like it was. Oh, it was aching as well. Yeah, it was definitely aching.
Yeah, well, of course, once those systems are going down, everything is reliant on them.
That's definitely a rough one. It's like, get that sleep. And if you didn't have a good night's sleep, definitely take a nap to kind of recharge some of that, because you don't want to run on fumes the whole day. That's really hard.
Yeah, naps. Ironically, whenever I have a nap, if it goes to like an hour or 2 hours, I wake up, it seems like I'm more tired than when I went to sleep at first. However, naps have been shown to be really, you profit from it a great deal. Yeah. And anytime you have 5 minutes to charge your heart, do the heart math meditation, just generating feelings of love and gratitude focused at your heart for 5 minutes, and you will charge up.
Clean Slate was formulated with proprietary patent-pending techniques that ignite the utility processes, creating bioavailable silica from nature's most powerful source and adding trace minerals and vitamin C.
And the result is revolutionary. Silica with ingredients that, in combination, work towards a higher standard of bioavailability, safety, and efficacy to support systemic passive cleansing of the body while simultaneously enhancing pathways to heal and regenerate.
Yeah, and that's all just fancy ways of saying that this stuff cleans you out in a really healthy and fulfilling way.
And not a way where you have to rush to the bathroom or you're having pain. It really does it in such a smooth way, because it breaks down what shouldn't be in there into such a nothingness, and then removes it while simultaneously, and this is important, puts in exactly the nutrients, vitamin, like the whole thing that your body actually needs. And that's important, because if it's just taken out, it can cause an autoimmune disorder. So this is done completely different.
Now, you said something crucial there. We live in a toxic environment, so you do need to cleanse on a daily basis, which is why we do this literally every day as part of the Root Brand Trinity, and you should do the same. Yeah. Go to therootbrands.com/create option C.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense though.
Because
If you can- even 5 or 10 good minutes of a good sleep for a nap is much better than taking too long of a nap, because then you do wake up exhausted.
Well, that heart
Yeah,
meditation you mentioned, you when we were done with our sessions, and I'm sure it's true for everybody. You recommend that heart meditation, envision the
That's
green
right.
around your heart and things like that. And I think it's important that you touched up on it. You know what Lourdes does is she actually has a frequency that goes with that, that she uses in her headphones. But
Hmm.
are you a big proponent of frequencies and things like that to affect certain chakras?
I don't myself, but I'm very familiar with that, and that the research shows that conclusively that's very, very good. That works very nicely. For me, all I need is I'm always with the divine anyway, and I'm always in nature. I got to be,
Yes.
as long as I'm outside a lot in nature with my feet bare feet on the ground,
Yes.
and I'm connected to Mother Earth like that, then I'm fine.
We do have, it's I love doing grounding. I mean, we don't do it enough,
We don't.
but I do love being barefoot on the ground. It feels good. And it feels like if there's anything going on physically, it fades away. Like I'm good.
Grounding is really essential. I found out how essential it is now. It must have been 2 years ago when I saw this seminar, because you're supposed to have a negative charge equal with Mother Earth. If you don't have the excess electrons in your system, you cannot resolve inflammation. Inflammation is an electron-proton equation. Soon as I learned that and I started grounding for 45 minutes to an hour every day, I never miss, all of the chronic inflammation I always retained in my system left. All the pain left my legs, lower legs, because I lived in pain 24/7. And I used to ground for, say, 10 minutes. I did not know that you require a certain amount of time.
That
But
time
once
frame
you have
seems
enough
large to me too.
electrons,
Yeah, I'm surprised by the length of time as well, because I think when Lourdes and I do it, I think we've done like 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
I never heard
20
I-
minutes is good. If you do grounding all the time, like daily, 20 minutes, your system will uptake.
I mean, that makes sense though. I think 10 minutes is too short of a time. I think 20 minutes is good, but I think the longer the better, because you're really absorbing all the like you said, the electrons from the earth itself that we need.
Yes,
I mean,
right. It's not like you could overdo it.
yeah, well, if
And
you think
remember,
of,
no, you can't overdo that.
Nope.
And always remember why. That's the reason Wi-Fi is so dangerous. Wi-Fi wipes out electrons.
yeah,
That's why I have the key shield with me. This thing, all it's doing, it radiates electrons in a field, and the electrons glom onto anything that's alive, plants,
Right, yeah.
animals, anything that's alive. So it puts a coat on me, because although I'm in the country here, over on that side down there, they have a Wi-Fi tower, and over here on the other side, I'm between them, but Wi-Fi cannot touch me at all. And then I'm grounding to Mother Earth, so
Doing good.
that's one of the reasons I stay healthy.
We used to go out purposely just to go grounding.
Mhm.
I mean, we usually did like 20 minutes, but I really do think the longer the better, because you're really taking in, like you're getting the full charge instead of doing some charge. And we do want to get that once energy thing actually, because we're waiting for a couple of things, but we do have like the certain smaller ones. We got the one that you can actually carry in your car.
You can even get grounding pads that are insoles for shoes.
Ooh.
Depending on your lifestyle. They actually have those things.
I'll have to check that one out. The
Yeah,
only
for
thing we
sure.
have right now, I'm going to look that up for my mom.
Yeah, for real.
The one we have now is like it's a grounding sheet that actually covers your bed and it plugs into the
Yeah,
ground.
that's great. See, I have a small unit here. I put that under my pillow.
Oh.
And I sleep. I have that. You see, nowadays, that's what I was talking about last week on my live show. We're living in a particular time now, and you have to be, let's say, energetic or field savvy, because if you don't, Wi-Fi breaks DNA in half, single and double strand. and
Wow.
it attacks the pituitary gland. It's absorbed. You're made out of water and oil. It's absorbing the Wi-Fi at all times. And then the nanotechnology warfare they're using against us to manipulate us is manipulated by Wi-Fi. If there's any graphene oxide in your system, it's resonant with 25.6 or 25.5 gigahertz. And then you're dead and gone, because as soon as it activates, it makes the blood clots. And, so being energetic, field savvy is essential nowadays.
Oh no, I totally get that, because I mean, never mind if there's any shedding or stuff going on and your body's, you're breathing in that stuff.
Well, I mean, look at the environment, chemtrails,
everything.
Wi-Fi, like you said, it's like,
your body, never mind some of the foods that you're eating that might have been sprayed prior to
the forever chemicals.
Yeah. So it's like you have to constantly cleanse, but you also at the same time need to protect yourself from anything else coming in as you're taking the stuff out. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And along with detox the subconscious, remove the interference, because the research shows if consciousness is high enough, environmental toxins at a certain point are no longer effective. Bruce Lipton, that's a big deal.
Well,
anything below that, you're at risk.
And I like that you mentioned that, because especially with everything that's going on right now, all our energy is being forced to just focus on one thing that's actually going to affect us in a bad way, like in a very negative way when it comes to our health, when it comes to our mind and our spirituality. So it's like we get bombarded with all the stuff that's going on in the news, on social media. Never mind if your neighbor or someone around, that's all the conversations out of this energy of, doom and gloom. And so they're feeding more and more of those things that they want us to keep perpetuating so that they can win. But if we focus on, like you said, putting things and using things that are going to keep us cleansed and clean and protected, and that means also our thoughts, so that we can stay focused on the end game of health and everything good. Too many people are focused on this happened and that. It's like, stop watching all that stuff.
Well, that's why the Lourdes Chris Show says that we're out to change health when it comes to mind, body, and spirit, because all three have to be in conjunction with one another, which is why we absolutely love you, our in-house quantum field doctor. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why, because we can consult you with these sort of things.
Yeah, and because it's all part of it. It's not one thing or another.
Agreed.
People think it's one thing or another. It's like, no, as long as you're dividing, which they love, you're gonna have it's gonna crash, and that's why they do it even with people in general. They divide us.
Yep. And you see, the reason everyone focuses, or most of them are focused on the negative. The negative lights up the amygdala, which releases cortisol. Cortisol is addictive. It's as addictive or even more addictive than cocaine. That's in the literature. So what they do is the people are virtually addicted to it, and they don't know that.
Restore uses the best of nature to restore your energy.
Yeah, Root Brands chose the best ingredients and enhanced their benefits to create a complete product with everything your body needs to run full of energy all day long.
And it's a perfect aid if you're trying to lose weight, if you're on a vegan diet, or simply want to give your body all the vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants, amino acid it needs for a healthy, active life.
Yeah, and it tastes really good.
It does. It tastes like a dreamsicle, actually.
Yeah.
But it's so good, and it does exactly that. It restores your body, and that's what you need. I mean, when it comes to your DNA and your cells, you want to get those back to cell, and it's almost like reverse aging.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason why this product is called Restore, and it is part of the Root Brands Trinity that we use every day, which is pretty much, you can say, it's nourish, balance, cleanse.
It does, and it's funny. I mean, that's how we start our morning. Actually,
Yeah.
The very first thing we do is we get on these, because it's like it just really starts your morning right.
Yep. And so you should do the same. You should go to therootbrands.com/create option C.
Yes, therootbrands.com/create option C.
When you're going to go up to a highway off of a side road, you're going to come up to a real big major highway. and everyone on the highway is moving 90, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So you're stopped at the entrance off this little side road waiting to enter the stream of traffic. Well, that's how you're born. People are born this world right now, or at any given point in time. If you're Ugg the caveman, you're born into that traffic, and it's moving at that speed. Now it's moving at hyper speed. And once you enter the highway, you have no choice but to move at the same speed. Sure. Otherwise, they'll run over you, right? Yep. So what happens is people just plug in and conform without the slightest reflection or understanding or anything. Right. It's like going to medical school. When I went, I'll call chiropractic college nowadays all it is a medical school because pharmaceutical companies bought them out. So I was in my 40s, folks, when I went to chiropractic college, and I already knew George Goodhart Jr. and Gary Klepper and some of the greatest doctors that ever walked the earth. So I knew the truth, but the kids, and I'll call them kids, they're like 20 years old, 21. They're just going into the college. It never occurs to the kids that the professor, the stuff they're learning is a lie. Why would they think it was a lie? They went to college to be a doctor. They're teaching you XYZ. XYZ is nothing but pure trash. Yeah. Just pharmaceutical nonsense. But the kids don't know that. So they just memorize it. They learn it. And when they go out into the field, they're just doing like jumping on the highway. They're just going along, and they think that everything they know is real. They never stop to examine it. Is this actually real? Or is this all, they don't know. Nobody does that.
It's so true, though. And in fact, we talked about that.
Yeah.
That right now people are so wrapped in, if you're not a doctor, then you don't know anything. And that makes zero sense, because even doctors that have their license to run an office conventionally for big pharma, they don't know anything either. They only know what they were taught, what they regurgitated, what if they passed their test, right? They're told this, and then you have to make sure that you answer correctly according to what they said is so.
Or you fail.
Yes. Or you fail. So you have to go with it, or you literally fail, and then you can't get your license. And then when you got your practice, no matter what you do, they're going to have their pharmaceutical reps to come in with their little suitcases and their little samples. And then they're going to tell, and those reps really don't know anything, because they're being taught by someone else was told to tell them this, and then they regurgitate that to them, and then they go, and they just take notes. It's for this, this, and this. And even if it's a lie, they're writing down all these lies that they were told were truths. And then they tell the doctor those lies, and then the doctor then takes those lies and gives it to the patient as truths.
Well, and then the sad thing is that they even the peer reviews or in any sort of medication publication that these doctors might be reviewing to make sure, let me look into it. Say that you're a good doctor and you want to do your due diligence. Even if you're looking at these peer reviews, those are also altered and been manipulated. That's right. So you feel like you're doing the right thing.
That's what I was trying to say last week on the other show that I do on Instagram and Facebook. That's what he's saying, folks, is the absolute truth. It's very hard to find actual truth nowadays. That's why doctors like myself and people like Dr. Bob Rakowski, or some of the big, there's God bless them, there's a couple of really good MDs. They're trying to get the information to the public, but it's censored off immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. They want you to be brainwashed in a particular line, and the line is only to manipulate you. But see, it's so hard to tell. That's why my advice is to unplug from almost all media, And to select media, you got to be very astute to make sure that what you're looking at is real, the information is real, and the people giving you the information don't have an ulterior motive to support some kind of a big money. All you got to do is follow the money.
Oh yeah, and it's interesting because most people think that they're there to, they made these things, it's life-saving. If it's life-saving, then it shouldn't kill off something else in the body that needs to be alive. Everything you put, do you know what I mean? Everything that's life-saving saves everything that's good. If it's destroying something in the body that's good, that's not life-saving.
Right.
No.
I want every good, healthy cell to stay alive. And the only thing that should be dying off and getting out of my system is all the bad stuff. So if I have to go somewhere and they give me something that's actually going to destroy something good, that is not life-saving. Life-saving is like if I get in a car accident and I'm bleeding out, they need to sew me up. That's life-saving.
Yes.
But a drug that is going to hide the receptors that I don't address the cause, and I'm just hiding the symptoms. And as I'm hiding the symptoms, I'm ignoring why that happened in the first place. And because why is still there, it's going to keep progressively getting worse because I never addressed it. That is not life-saving. Life-saving is addressing the problem and fixing it so the symptoms can go away. And most people think that, oh no, I took this and I felt better. But okay, you no longer feel that pain, but the moment you stop it, is the pain equally the same or is the pain worse?
It's worse.
If the pain is worse, that means stuff is going on and you're ignoring it. And just give it a couple of more times and you're going to go, now I had a stroke or I had a heart attack. Now I got diabetes or I have high blood pressure or I have, high cholesterol, high blah, 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 blah. Well, then that means that the stuff that you're getting, if you pay attention, look at the side effects, it will tell you all these things are occurring because you're ignoring that it is not life-saving. It is covering the problem.
I keep telling Lourdes that she needs to bring some passion to this conversation. Otherwise, no one's going to listen, And I'm trying to work on it with her, Doc. I'm trying to get her there.
It's jokes.
There's two words that the public, everyone listening, there's two terms you need to know. That's iatrogenic death, and nosocomial death. Big fancy terms. Iatrogenic death means you were killed by your doctor. The medicines and everything, they kill you. That is the highest cause of death in the world, according to the New England Journal of Medicine. Okay. Nosocomial death means you happen to go into a hospital and you died as a result of entering a hospital because superbugs and things live there that don't live anywhere else. There's like 60,000 people a year die of nosocomial death. Something like 850,000 to 950,000 a year die from iatrogenic death. And all they do, folks, when you die in the hospital or when they give you medicine and you drop dead, all they say is, they can say like complications or he passed away. And then everybody makes money, Yep. They're over in Hawaii having a glass of wine or something. Everything carries on, just you're dead or your mother's dead or your husband's dead, So, and then what Lourdes is saying, a real simple way, if that confuses you, is this. Let's say there's noise, lots of noise. So you put some very special ear muffs and ear plugs and you can't hear anything. Did the noise go away? No, you can't hear it. When they give you medicine, what she's talking about is all they do is your brain and your nervous system can't see the problem anymore. Problem's still there, but you can't see the problem. You know why aspirin helps your headache, folks?
Zero In will help lead you out of brain fog and into laser sharp mental focus.
Yeah, it's a natural alternative to synthetic stimulants. You get all of your cylinders firing at full force.
And made with turmeric, pine bark, velvet bean seed, and vitamin D.
She looks at me when she says velvet bean seed because she knows it's my favorite ingredient. I just like the sound of it. Velvet beans.
It does. It sounds velvety.
Yeah.
But it's so good because this is food for the brain. And our brain runs our body, you know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, it's like you zero in on what you need to get done.
See what she did there? Zero in.
Well, that's what I like about the products, that the name means exactly that. For Zero In, it's about the brain, it's about focusing, it's about having it do what it's supposed to do so that you can focus.
Yeah,
I love it.
take it every morning as part of our regimen. That includes the whole trinity for Root Brands.
Yes.
You should do the same. Go to therootbrands.com/create option C.
Yeah.
All aspirin does is cause internal bleeding, causes a little bleed in the tummy. When it causes a bleed in the tummy, the brain sees that bleeding and goes, oh, we better fix that. And it doesn't put its attention on your head, on that headache. And all that's happening is the headache eventually goes away by itself.
Sure.
And it just blocks, it's just shifting consciousness. But the aspirin doesn't ever fix headaches any more than I'm the tooth fairy.
But that's so true, because anytime you take something like an aspirin or any of those, synthetic made painkillers, it doesn't really fix a problem. In fact, what was Dr. Newsom saying, that it
makes it like a dam.
Yeah, like a dam. So all this fluid, so then when you that fades away, it comes back even worse, because it just kind of
Well, the analogy he uses, if you make a dam on a creek or a river, what happens? Well, all this water fills up. Now that water's not flowing anymore, so your pain's not there anymore, but it's still gathering force. You take away the dam, now it's even stronger.
So now the pain is even stronger. So, but if you do something natural, that on this earth, they actually have things that get rid of pain, and because it's natural, it's not synthetic, the body recognizes it, it gets rid of the pain. It's the same reason people got to think of the only reason why they even came up with something to get rid of pain or not show your sugar levels up. All they did is they went to nature and said, oh, this gets rid of diabetes, or normalizes sugar, or this gets rid of pain. And then they want to go, how can we duplicate this synthetically in a lab so we can patent it? It's going to cause a whole bunch of problems, but at least we're making money taking there, because we don't want them to go to nature and take something that's going to be naturally, it's going to put them to sleep naturally without a problem, or take away the pain, or normalize your sugar. They'll just synthesize it inside a lab, and then you take that, and then you end up with, never mind all the fillers and junk and chemicals they have in there that your body doesn't recognize. So now you're not knowing why things are getting worse, well, because you just put something that the body doesn't recognize.
Well, this goes right back to what you were saying at the front there, Doc, is that people have to be aware. You have to be aware of what's going on. You have to be your own advocate. And that's true for not just what you were saying, which is like the energy fields, but also everything that's in and around your body.
Everything. Because the war the way they're waging it now, and with cognitive warfare now, I'm a specialist of consciousness and everything. Everything that I know, they know too, and they're using it with tremendous effectiveness and depth on 100 different ways, hundreds of levels, to completely control and manipulate human beings. And now that they're actually beginning now to breed transhuman individuals. It's a science fiction world now, folks, but it's the real deal. I mean, it's not in the future, it's now. If you listen to that jackass, I call him a jackass, a lot of people really love him, Elon Musk. I heard that guy the other day talking about interfacing very casually, how he's interfacing human brain tissue with cyborg, and he talks about it, like the same way I would talk to my girl Oi about frying eggs. Let's have some eggs and bacon in the morning. Let's just make a cyborg. He said, because he says, you're already a cyborg because you have a smartphone anyway. He says, all we're going to do is plug it in.
Wow.
And the fact that any human being would ever consent to that, for me, is an indication of insanity.
Yeah, sure.
No, it
But
really is.
in any case, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're dealing with. And for any of us that are interested, or if you are dedicated to life and having a good life and being happy and healthy, raising healthy, happy children, you have to be savvy. You got to be on top of things. That's why I'm proud to be here with you guys, because that's what Lourdes, Chris, and I, that's what we're doing, folks.
Oh yeah.
Trying to bring, let you hear some truth.
Now we're going to do a two-parter tonight with you, but before we get into the second part, I did want to talk about how people would reach out to you and utilize your services.
Yeah, and but real
It's
quickly,
it's real easy, folks. You just go to my website. It's just Depth Healing, all lowercase, depthhealing.org. Depthhealing.org. All of my contact info is there. I'm doing a big event for you guys. It's your evening of the 23rd. It's a 2-hour talk on the first 5 programs that control human life and destiny. That's arcane knowledge. It's known by very few, and I happen to know it. So I'm going to give a talk for 2 hours, and that's a very, very fascinating information. That handles everything on the earthly end of things. The other 5 programs, that handles those are real big programs, and we can't do anything with that. That's like the galactic program, the solar program, the global consciousness program. Those are really big. But for the first 5 is us.
Right.
Now that's the 23rd of
and I'm
November.
going to describe that. I beg your pardon?
The 23rd of November.
Yes, the 23rd. It's coming up real fast. I call it the big picture. The big picture.
Okay.
You register for that one. It's only $19.95, but it'll be information that you will find very, very interesting.
That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was going to say quickly too, is when we're talking about everything that's going on with, the electronics and all that, every one of our cells has power in it.
Yes.
It has an energy, and you can deplete that energy in those cells that can really deplete your health. And I think that's why they're doing what they're doing, because with the 5G, if you're not really protecting yourself from those things and thinking, oh, this is just a conspiracy theory. If you're starting to feel more aches, if you're starting to have more issues, if you're starting to feel more illnesses that you didn't have prior to this, think about why, and then go, maybe there's something to it. Maybe I do need to cleanse more. Maybe I need to juice more. Maybe I need to drink more water. Maybe I do need to keep my focus and energy on the right path, so I'm not feeding the wrong things, and really kind of, because it is mind, body, and spirit. It's not just the physical body, but it's outside of that that we're affected. I mean, we don't stop here. We really are further away from this, and we've learned that many times.
If you, one of the ways I check in my clients for the 5G, if you're experiencing a lot of headaches or a lot of irritability, see that it attacks the brain, and irritability, anger, like real anger, headaches, dizziness, confusion, all of that. Look to 4 and 5G.
On that note, we'll be getting onto the second part of this show, the second part 2.
Part 2. Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to do part 2 right now. So don't be confused, folks. When next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Lourdes and Chris Show, we're wearing the same outfits. It's not the same show. We just were able to nab Dr. Grant for a good chunk of time today. We're going to take advantage of that.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. Well, actually, not tonight. We're done tonight. But thank you, Dr. Grant. And don't go anywhere, because you said 2 episodes. So
yes,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So
do 3 or 4 if you want.
Okay. So thank you again for joining us, and then we'll wrap up, and then we'll next week you'll see us again with Dr. Grant. Holy cow! What, right? I mean, fortunately we got him for 2 episodes this time.
Yes, this time we got him for 2 episodes. So the next week's episode, it goes on to another level of amazing.
Yeah, exactly right. It just. He had so many good things to say about what's going on with and it all comes down to fields and the 5Gs that are out there and all this stuff.
Everything. I mean, he's talking about what's going on today, right now. In fact, what's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
to get us to today and what we can do to help ourselves prevent a lot of things and kind of just be in the right space so that we don't fall into that hole.
So we've got Dr. Grant's link in the bottom underneath
Yes.
in the description here. So if you just click on that, you can get right to his website,
Yep.
schedule an appointment with him. He's amazing. You're going to
Really,
feel
yeah.
amazing when you're done with your sessions with him, because that's just, you have no choice. It's
You do feel great about, yeah, I totally agree. I enjoy sessions with him. And you just have to go to deathhealing.org.
That's right.
It's like
All one word.
all one word.
And for those of you that haven't already come join us on the LourdesandChrisShow.com, I ask, why not? Just jump on board. Go to see us at LourdesandChrisShow.com. You can see all the former episodes that we have on there, including some with Dr. Grant.
Yes.
And on that, you can actually go to another page and see the products that we recommend, including the root brands that we were talking about at the front of the show. The root brands, just on a personal level, is just amazing.
It is.
Has done so many good things for us. And so you do want to check that out as well.
Definitely want to check it out. And we're going to get into depth of why it's so good in the following weeks and stuff. But
That's right.
it's so good. It really is.
And so if you go onto the LourdesandChrisShow.com, you can sign up for our newsletter. We have some upcoming events coming up that we want to let you know about. Plus, we have some call to actions type stuff. Like, we do want to know your stories about how you healed yourself naturally, what you had, and how you took care of it in a natural way, so that we can do little segments about that.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can also follow us on social media, because we're all over social media.
As you can see here.
Yep, all these.
So like, subscribe, and share, because you don't know the thing you know that someone also needs to know, right? And right?
You don't know who needs to know the thing you know.
And not just that, or the thing that you're watching, right? You don't know that thing that you're happen to be watching that someone else needs to know. And the moment you share it, you just help that person.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times Lourdes will watch something and it pertains to somebody that she's either advocated for, or a family member, or myself a lot too, where she'll be like, oh, remember you were talking about this thing? I just saw this thing. And that's because someone liked, followed, and shared something, and they got it out there for the rest of the world to see.
Which we do all the time.
Yep.
Every time we watch a video or a documentary, or we get some type of information or studies or whatever, we share it, because we get that it's so important for folks to understand what's going on or what they may want to know. So we know that we like what we're learning. So we're going, wait a minute, this is a great topic on this thing. And so then we share it. And then kid you not, then it gets shared over and over and over again. And that's what we want you guys to do, even with our show. Share it over and over again with others, because then they'll get to share it as well.
That's right.
And you're helping so many people by doing that.
Yeah, we're out to change the conversation surrounding health when it comes to mind, body, and spirit. And in order to do that, the word's got to get out. And you do us immense honor and a favor when you do just that. So we appreciate those of you who have done that. We absolutely love you for it. Hey, we're going to see you again in about a week here, because the Lourdes and Chris Show, that's what we do. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the next episode. And we already know it's going to be Dr. Grant on again, because we had him for two episodes this time.
Yep. And you want to go onto the LourdesandChrisShow.com, not only to check things out, but there's also 2 places where you can click on to donate. Your donation really helps us a lot in helping others. So just keep in mind that every time, whether it's $5, $10, $20, whatever the amount is, there's no amount too low or too high that actually helps us to continue our mission in helping so many people. And it's so much fun to help so many people, that when you listen to their stories and how it's changed their life and how they're doing now to compare how they were, it's because of you guys.
Absolutely. So we absolutely love you. We'll see you again in about a week, because that's how this works. Thank you for joining us every week, and we absolutely love you.